Look, man, I don't blame you for clicking on this video. Once you start out in GTA Online and there's like a million things that the game's telling you to buy, and you don't know what the hell you actually should be buying, I get it. Because I'm going to be honest with you, most of that stuff that the game is telling you to buy is complete rubbish. Today, I'm cutting the BS. I'm telling you what you should buy. So these are the top 10 things that every GTA Online player should own, and these are the things that every rich player has. If you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up would be awesome. Subscribe for more stuff like this, and let's go. We're not going to waste any time. Straight off the bat, I'm going to tell you the best and most important thing that you're going to need in all of GTA Online. And right now in 2022, it's the Casino submarine. Now, unfortunately, if you want one, they are over $2 million. So initially, you're not going to have that kind of money. But you're not going to want to go spend money on anything else, basically, until you have this. Now, yeah, it is expensive at over $2 million, $2.2 million actually. But once you have this, you're going to be able to start at the Casino Heist, which is the best way to make money in the game. And once you can do that heist, you can rerun it over and over again, and you should be able to get over $1 million an hour. If you want to know how to get this much money to begin with so you can actually buy it, I've explained that in countless other guides on the channel, so check them out. But just keep that in mind, okay? The best way to make money in this game is the Casino Heist, and to do that, you need a submarine to start it up. So that should be your main goal. Okay, next up at number 2, you're gonna need an armored vehicle. Depending on how much money you have, I'm giving you a cheaper option and a bit more of an expensive option as well. If you're looking for something on the cheaper side, I would recommend the armored Kuruma. It's $545,000 with the trade price, and it's basically an armored sports car. You can shoot out of it, but other people are going to have a pretty tough time shooting into it, which is nice. If you're using this vehicle for pretty much any type of mission in the game, you're going to be almost invincible inside from bullets at least. Unfortunately, because it's just a sports car that's armored, it can't tank any rockets, so one explosive will blow this up, but it has pretty good protection from bullets. On the more expensive side, I would recommend either an Insurgent pickup custom or a Nightshark. Both of these won't provide as much protection from bullets, but they will provide a lot more protection from explosives. It's going to take up to 20 rockets to destroy these if you have max armor on them. So while they might not be as good for missions, they're a lot better for something like free roam, for example. And this is something that every GTA player needs because, man, free roam can be a bit of a war zone. Next up, I've got the CEO office. Now, the CEO offices used to be one of the best properties in the game, and that's because you need the CEO office in order to buy a vehicle warehouse or a cargo warehouse, which used to be some of the best ways to make money in the game. While the warehouses aren't as good as they used to be, the CEO office still provides a lot of value, mainly because you can have a 60-car garage in it. Garages can be a pain to manage when you're driving cars all across the map to put them in different garages. So having the ability to buy 60 car slots in the one building is really useful, not only just for convenience, but because you can actually host some really cool car shows with your friends and kind of just show off all the cars you've earned. If you did want to pick up a CEO office, the cheapest one is $1 million, which isn't actually that expensive in GTA Online today. Or if you've got a lot more money, you can buy the Maze Bank Tower for $4 million, but keep in mind garages are going to cost more money on top of that, so maybe don't spend that much money if you don't have that much left over. Okay, next up, we've got helicopters. Every GTA Online player needs at least one helicopter. And again, I've got a cheaper option, a more expensive option, and I've put an option in the middle as well this time. So for the cheaper option, I would recommend a Buzzard. The Buzzard is $1.75 million, and honestly, it's not really the best at anything, but it's decent at almost everything. It's not incredibly fast, it's not incredibly slow, it's not extremely powerful, but it's not really weak, it's still got homing rockets. But maybe the best part about it is you can spawn it right next to you through your CEO interaction menu, which means if you ever need to get out of a sticky situation, you can just spawn it in and fly away. For the more medium option, I've put the Sparrow. Now, to buy the Sparrow, you're gonna need the Casino submarine because that's where the Sparrow is stored. And you can look at the Sparrow as sort of just a better Buzzard. It's not as strong, like it can't tank as much damage, but it's a lot faster. It shoots rockets a lot faster as well, and you can still spawn it right next to you. So that's kind of a middle option. And for the top end, there's a lot of expensive helicopters, but my pick would be the Akula. And the main reason for that is because of the stealth mode feature, which allows you to go completely off the radar to anyone in the lobby. That's going to be incredibly useful when you're trying to grind out businesses or if there's griefers after you, and this is something that almost every rich player has. Next up, every rich GTA player has passive businesses. Now, what do I mean by passive business? A passive business is a business that's going to make you money in the background while you do whatever you want. All you're going to need to do is sell the product occasionally and just rake in the money. There's a bunch of really good passive businesses in the game. We're talking the Coke Lockup, the Meth Lab, the Cash Factory, and the Bunker is really good as well. But maybe the best of them all is the Nightclub. Now, even though it seems nice to sort of just have a business that's going to make you money while you do something else, there actually is a bit more to it than that. Each business has its own ins and outs. So if you did want to go down the route of buying passive businesses, which again will make you so much money, you won't even know what to do with it all, I would recommend looking up videos on YouTube telling you how to make the most money with them. The next must-own item in GTA is actually something that's going to help you with your businesses, and that's the Master Control Terminal. But to buy the Master Control Terminal, you need another business, and that's the arcade. Are you confused yet? I don't know. Just me saying this, it kind of sounds pretty confusing to a new player. I hope you're keeping track. So to buy an arcade, go into Maze Bank Foreclosures and pick one up. I would recommend one in the city as opposed to one at the top of the map. And the main reason for that is because the arcade is the property that's going to let you start up the Casino Heist, which is probably the second best way to make money in the game. Kuruma Heist and the Casino Submarine are still the best though. Even if you don't choose to do the Casino Heist, it's still worth getting a location in the city because you're going to use the Master Control Terminal from here. And the Master Control Terminal is essentially a bunch of computers, sort of a supercomputer, where you can manage almost every single other one of your businesses in the game from the one spot. So instead of flying or driving all the way across the map to each one of your businesses to resupply them, you can actually just do it all here from the one spot and save yourself a lot of time. This is one of the most useful things in all of GTA Online, and it's something that you definitely must own. Okay, coming up next, I didn't want to have to put this one in here, but still, it really is just that good. So don't hate me, but I'm gonna have to say it. It's the Oppressor Mark II. Still in 2022, it's the best vehicle in the game. It's still pretty much overpowered, but I mean, even though it can be a toxic vehicle, this is still just the most convenient vehicle in all of GTA Online. You can spawn a flying bike right next to you and just fly across the map to wherever you want. It's great for completing any sort of VIP missions, any security contracts, anything. It's so convenient, it's so good, but unfortunately, it is also really good for griefing people, so please, yeah, don't do that. That's pretty toxic. But yeah, at this spot, I had to put the Oppressor Mark II, kind of still the best vehicle in the game. For the final three spots, all of these are kind of linked together, but they're just that good that I had to put them all in here. So up next is the Agency. This was just added at the end of 2021, and the Agency lets you do a lot of stuff. First up, we're going to talk about the Dr. Dre contract. So owning the Agency lets you start up the Dr. Dre contract, which will make you $1 million, and you can probably complete this in just under 2 hours. So not a bad way to make money. But it also gives you two other really good ways to make money as well, and kind of underrated ways. The first is through security contracts. Now these are sort of like VIP missions if you've done those, but basically these missions are going to pay you between $30,000 and $70,000, and they should only really take you a few minutes. Sort of an extra bonus as well is every 5 security contracts you complete, that's actually going to increase the amount of money your wall safe in your agency is going to make per day. If you complete 200 security contracts, you're going to make $20,000 through the agency safe every 48 minutes, which 200 is a lot and most people will never get there. I wouldn't even recommend doing that, to be honest, but it is a cool little bonus. The other way the agency can help you make a ton of money is through PayPhone Hits. If you ever played the GTA 5 story, you would know that Franklin did PayPhone Hits for Lester. Now we can do them for Franklin. And the good thing is, they pay a lot of money. On average, a PayPhone Hit should take you about between 3 and 5 minutes to complete. And if you complete the bonus challenge that Franklin gives you, you're going to make $85,000 per payphone hit. That's an insane amount of money for a few minutes work. Honestly, that alone would make the agency one of the best properties in the game and definitely a must-own, but like I said, there's other reasons this thing is so great. So up next, a must-own item in GTA Online is the agency Armory. The Armory was one of my favorite additions to all of GTA Online. Essentially, this gives you your very own ammunition inside your agency. Now, you might be thinking, why is that so good? Like, I can just go to an ammunition. That's right, but there's a few extra bonuses that this can give you. First of all, you're going to get a pretty big discount on any guns and ammo. Not only that, but it also is the first ever property that allows you to buy body armor from that property. Being able to just teleport to your agency and get body armor whenever you want is going to save you so much time when you're grinding out missions as opposed to having to drive to ammunition and constantly get armor. So for any grinders, this is absolutely a must-have and honestly a lifesaver. And the final must-own item in all of GTA Online is the Agency Vehicle Workshop. And you might be thinking, why on earth is a random vehicle workshop one of the best things to own in the game? Well, this isn't any normal vehicle workshop. Franklin hired a hacker named Imani, and honestly, she is kind of amazing. Imani has created what's called Imani Tech, and this is the only place in the game that you can equip it. There's only a handful of vehicles in GTA Online that can actually use Imani Tech, but what Imani Tech does is it gives you two options. First of all, you could put a remote control option, so you could remotely control any personal vehicle that is able to use it. That one's more of just a gimmick, but the best upgrade is the missile lock-on jammer. Now, I spoke about before how the Oppressor Mark II is incredibly overpowered and really good for griefing people, unfortunately. By putting a missile lock-on jammer on any of your Imani Tech-capable personal vehicles, they can't lock onto you anymore. No one can, with anything. This is a feature that people have been asking for years in GTA Online, and Rockstar finally listened, and we now have a way to counter the Oppressor Mark II and stay safe in free roam. For anyone who's looking to play GTA Online long term, this is definitely a must-have item and one of my favorite things in the game. So we'll wrap it up there. I hope that list helped you sort of figure out what you actually should be buying instead of just buying whatever the game tells you to buy. If you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up would be awesome. Again, subscribe for more stuff like this if you enjoyed. Hope you stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Boys.